You've felt it before, that strange, creeping sensation when the present feels too familiar. A conversation you swear you've already had. A street corner you know you've already walked. A moment that feels like it belongs to a memory, even though it's happening right now. That is déjà vu. For some, it lasts only a few seconds. For others, it leaves a chill that lingers long after the moment is gone. Science calls it a glitch in the brain, a misfiring of memory, a harmless trick of perception. But tell me, if it's just a mistake, then why does it feel so much more? Why does déjà vu feel like a whisper from something beyond? A signal that you've already lived this moment before? And if that's true, then how many times have you already lived this life? And how many more times will you be forced to live it again? Science tries to comfort us. It tells us déjà vu is nothing supernatural, nothing to fear. Psychologists say it's just a trick of memory. Here's how it works. Your brain is constantly processing the world around you. Sounds, images, sensations. Normally, those experiences go straight to your short-term memory, and then, if important enough, they're stored as long-term memories. But sometimes the system misfires. The new experience gets sent to long-term memory too quickly. So when you see it again just seconds later, your brain thinks, wait, I've already lived this before. In other words, déjà vu might be nothing more than a filing error. Some neuroscientists go even further. They point to the temporal lobe, the part of your brain that handles memory and perception. They found that unusual electrical activity in this region can trigger intense déjà vu episodes, even during medical experiments. That's why people with epilepsy often report stronger, more frequent déjà vu episodes. To science, it's a symptom, a side effect, a glitch. And to most people, that's a comforting thought. Because if déjà vu is just a glitch, then there's nothing to worry about. It's like your brain hitting the wrong button for a few seconds before carrying on as usual. But here's the question science can't answer. If déjà vu is harmless, then why does it feel so different? Why does it come with that cold, uneasy weight in your stomach? That strange sense of significance, like the universe itself is trying to tell you something? Why does a simple memory error feel like a warning? Science explains the mechanics, but it cannot explain the terror. And that's where the cracks begin to show. But not everyone is satisfied with science's answer. Because sometimes déjà vu doesn't feel like a memory error. It feels like a mistake in reality itself. Think about a video game. You're walking through a level you've played before. A character repeats the same line of dialogue. An object glitches, flickering in and out for a split second before snapping back into place. Now imagine if our world worked the same way. What if déjà vu isn't happening in your brain, but in the world around you? Some believe that our universe might not be as solid as we think, that it's more like a simulation, built, designed, running on rules we don't understand. And just like in a video game, sometimes the system lags, the program slips, the illusion falters. That flicker you feel during déjà vu, it could be the code resetting itself. Maybe that's why certain moments feel so eerily familiar, because they've already happened before within the program. You're not remembering a past life. You're remembering another run of the simulation. But here's where it gets darker. If our reality is a simulation, then who or what is running it? Are we being studied like test subjects? Are we part of some experiment? Or are we just background characters in a story being played for someone else's entertainment? And if déjà vu is when we notice the glitch, is that why it disappears so quickly? Because the system corrects itself before you can look too closely? What if the universe doesn't want you to notice? What if déjà vu is a warning that you were never meant to see behind the curtain?
There's another theory, one far older and far more terrifying. It doesn't talk about glitches. It doesn't talk about memory errors. It talks about eternity. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche called it the eternal return. The idea that time is not a straight line, but a circle. That everything you do, every choice you make, every mistake you regret, every laugh, every heartbreak, you will live again, and again, and again, forever. In this view, déjà vu isn't an accident. It's not even a glitch. It's a reminder, a signal from the universe whispering, yes, you've been here before, and you will be here again. Think about that for a moment. The people you've loved and lost, you've already lost them 1,000 times, and you'll lose them again. That argument you regret, that chance you didn't take, that mistake you can't undo, you've already lived it, and you'll keep living it over and over without escape. Even now, as you listen to this, maybe that deep creeping sense of familiarity is proof you've already heard these words. Maybe you've sat in this exact moment countless times before, and you'll sit through it countless times again. Because the story of your life doesn't move forward, it only loops. So when déjà vu strikes, that cold electric shiver in your chest, it's not just your brain misfiring. It's the chains of eternity rattling, reminding you that you can never leave this cycle. Not in this life, not in the next, not ever. And the worst part? If this theory is true, then even your fear right now is something you've already felt over and over again. Or maybe the truth isn't cosmic at all. Maybe the horror lies within you. Because déjà vu isn't only tied to philosophy, it's also tied to the fragility of the human mind. Doctors have noticed that frequent déjà vu often shows up in people with temporal lobe epilepsy. In those moments, a burst of abnormal electrical activity in the brain creates that vivid sense of reliving something even when it's impossible. For some, déjà vu is more than just an odd experience. It's a warning sign. Psychiatrists have also linked it to conditions like schizophrenia and dissociative disorders. When memory, perception, and identity begin to fracture, déjà vu becomes more frequent, more intense, more terrifying. And that leads to the darkest possibility of all. What if déjà vu is not a message from the universe, but a message from your brain? A signal that your reality is slipping, that the world you think you know, your memories, your choices, your sense of time cannot be trusted. Because if your brain can trick you into believing a brand new moment has already happened, then how can you be sure of anything? How can you be certain that the people around you are real, that your past is true, that the present moment is even happening? Maybe déjà vu is not the universe repeating itself. Maybe it's you, your mind, cracking. And if that's true, then the next time it happens, you won't just be questioning reality, you will be questioning yourself. And that's a horror you can never escape. So what is déjà vu, really? A harmless brain glitch, a flicker in the simulation, a sign of an eternal loop you can never escape, or proof that your mind itself is slipping away? The truth is, no one knows. Science explains the mechanics, but not the terror. Philosophy explains the possibilities, but not the certainty. And the experience itself always leaves more questions than answers. That's why déjà vu haunts us. Because every time it happens, we're forced to wonder, is this my first time living this moment, or my 1000th? And if I've already lived it before, then how many more times will I be forced to live it again? And here's the thought that will keep you awake tonight. If time really is repeating, then you've already heard these words, not once, not twice, but endlessly. And you'll keep hearing them forever. If you want to keep exploring the thoughts that keep you awake tonight, subscribe to Horror of Thoughts. Because the next time déjà vu strikes and you wonder if you've been here before, maybe it's because you've already watched this channel and came back again. Like, comment, share your own experiences, and together We'll keep pulling at the threads of reality until it completely unravels.